Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back doing another Tyler Perry review. This one right here is Why Did I Get Married? Came out in 2007. And Kim, a few things I thought about with this one right here. This is the same exact year that the last film that we reviewed, Daddy's Little Girl, came out. That came out in 2007 with Idris Elba as well, I believe. And I just got to get this out the way. I noticed this immediately, at this time, 18 years ago, Michael Jackson was still alive, and
Dude,
as
dude,
as soon as the movie opened up with his sister Janet, I was hearing Michael, and I was like, oh no, oh my god,
right?
this is wonderful, but it stinks at the same time. Guys, thank y'all for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Kim, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
How you doing today, ma'am? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's so funny you mentioned that because as we're going through this Tyler Perry's filmography and we're watching stuff that either you or I haven't seen since it came out or in a long time. I've definitely seen this more than once, but it is bringing me back to like what I was doing at that time, like what I was wearing, those big old sunglasses, like it just is bringing me back. I'm like 2007. Okay, yeah, I remember that. But yeah, life was so different. Life was so different back then.
Yeah, I have seen this one more than once too. Of course, I just rewatched it. And guys, if you don't know how we feel about Tyler Perry, if this is your first time tuning in, for us, it's a some people love his films, some people hate his films. We're in the middle. It's a flip of a coin over here for the most part. Some of his movies I really do like, some of them I don't like. We just got done with Straw, and I thought that was a hot mess. I didn't like Acrimony. I did not like A Fall from Grace, but I love A Family That Prayed and just some of his earlier work.
Six
So
triple eight.
yeah, great film, right? You know what I'm saying? I like 688. The other one that just came out that was on Amazon, that was okay, but I didn't like the ending. We just kind of wanted to go back and rewatch some of the Tyler Perry movies that we did like Good Deeds and Daddy's Little Girl. And now we're doing Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2, The Family That Prays. We may do some more, but also Tyler Perry has a new film coming out called Finding Joy that's going to be I think released November of 2025. So just wanted to give you that quick update right there. But Kimberly, getting into the nitty gritty, spoilers. If you haven't seen the film, I'm pretty sure you have. If you're watching this by now, if not, you have been warned. I really did like this one right here, man. Tyler Perry, if you're watching this, sir, why can't we get quality films like this under your umbrella today in 2025? I know you got it in you, man. I'm rooting for you. And I just want to just
Y'all
clear the
are.
record. I am willing to give you my money. I am willing to subscribe. I am willing to be a member of whatever you do. Okay. Whether it's movies, television, or both, if you can give me quality like Daddy's Little Girl and Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2 and all the other films that we listed in 2025, you got my money, sir. You still got my, you gonna say, I can't even talk right now. I was gonna say you got my respect, but you still have my respect. I just had to get that off my chest. But I really did like this movie a lot. We got Jill Scott in here. I love her. Fantastic, man. I got emotional, Kim, at the end. She was like, "Oh," and I just wake up with so much joy. I really, I was like, "Damn!" Like, this movie is good. Now, I mean, it had its corny parts. It had some where the acting kind of dipped, but that's one another thing with Tyler Perry in his films, some especially this one to me, is from the same actor or actress. At one point in the film, their acting can be kind of like, what's going on here? And then later on, it can be really moving and touching and just like pull at your heart. But I feel like I'm blabbering here. I really did like it, Kim. Where are you at? Where you
You
got?
know, I liked it too, and this was the age I call it the age of excellent Black films, where it's like the films were just about Black people living life. It wasn't about slavery, it wasn't about the crack epidemic, it wasn't about prostitution, it wasn't about fathers leaving. It was like, I'm a pediatrician, my wife's a lawyer, we go on vacation. Like this was like the age where I know it's a few years from like The Wood and Brown Sugar and just these excellent Black films, Soul Food, like
Mhm.
Best Man. I know this came out like a few years after Best Man, where Black people, we were going to the theater going, it's so nice to tell our stories, not necessarily our extensive history with civil rights, which is so, which by the way, I don't want anyone to think like, dang, you don't want to learn. Like, no, like those movies are incredibly important. Malcolm X and Selma, those movies are incredibly important. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't always want to watch Roots. Sometimes I just want to see us existing.
Yeah.
I just want to see us falling in love. I just want to see us fighting for marriage. I just want to see us fighting for your business, you know, like or just living. And this was that age of just excellent Black films. Because there definitely was a dip. There was a fall off for a while. And I remember thinking when this came out, like, oh, I like this group of people, like Malik Yoba, like New York Undercover, what's up? Like,
Mhm.
that's how I remember Malik Yoba. Like, that's my dude. The whole cast, just beautiful, beautiful people. And also Janet Jackson. I feel like aside from Poetic Justice, when was the last time before 2007, when was the last time we saw her in a film? And so it had been a while since
Mm.
we saw her acting. And I even remember some people, like some friends of mine during this time being like, "Oh my gosh, Janet Jackson's gonna be in a movie." And I was like, Janet Jackson's been in movies. Like, that's
Mhm.
not like we haven't she doesn't do a lot, but that's not brand new. Like some people that I knew that maybe didn't see Poetic Justice, um, they were like, "Oh, we're seeing her for the first time." I'm like, no, like she's
Yeah.
she was Penny, she acted when she was a kid, but also as an adult, it was really cool to see her just acting again. I remember back in '07 just being like, "Oh, I haven't seen Janet on the screen in a while."
Not even
And I
close.
think this is when she was still with Jermaine Dupri, like
Oh man, I forgot all about that.
I
Wow.
know,
Yeah.
I know. So, I just remember being excited for this film, like, great cast.
Yeah. Yeah. It is funny. It is hilarious as well. This guy right here, Mr. Richard T. Jones, Mike,
Yeah.
he is an a-hole. God,
Oh my gosh.
he deserved to get his ass whooped. Like I'm just I'm watching the beginning of this, laughing to myself, like this is so outlandish. Like, you gonna make your wife drive in the snow? Like, no remorse, don't care.
Dude.
Cheating on her right in his face. Sheila was Jill Scott. Sheila, oh man, she was so naive, but I loved her as well.
You think she was naive?
A little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, why? What? Yeah, your
Yeah.
husband doesn't want to sit next to you on the plane. He's gonna sit next to her, and her. Let me give you some. Let me pay for the gas money.
Oh, that
Like,
broke me,
what?
man. Like,
This is insane. Like,
that broke me.
I don't even know can they legally do that? Like, just kick you off a plane if you are.
I don't know, but I know people have been confronted in front of a whole plane full of people
Yeah.
about like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but you're squashing the person next
Oh
to you."
my
Like,
god.
like that has happened. Like,
Yeah.
people being like, "Hey, you're touching me." So that humiliating thing, you would imagine like that's your woman, like that's when you grab her hand and you know what, we'll both leave, like fine, like you
Exactly.
know what, baby, I got you. Like even if you're not on good terms, even if you're in the middle of a fight, that's still your wife, and you still grab her hand and go, okay, you don't take care of her friend in front of you and then be like, here's some gas. But that's like, it's funny when you say naive because I'm like, I think of like downtrodden, like you've been abused for so long, and just the mentality of a woman that's not that strong, that's not in a mental space to be like, What?
Yeah.
Say that again."
Like,
Okay, earrings come off. Like, I'm not a proponent of getting like loud in public places, but there's a time and a place for everything too. Like, if my man did that, like, I'd be like, "Oh, this is one of those moments in my
yeah,
life where I'm gonna have to get loud." Like,
exactly.
that just
It was awful.
that's a downtrodden woman.
Right.
Like,
And then it's a reflection of life. You do have women out there like that.
Oh, yeah,
You
and
know,
that'll come back for more. "Oh,
yeah,
okay, well, I'll have your dinner when you're ready."
yeah, it's
Dinner
crazy.
when you're ready, you're gonna put some rat poison in it? Because, like, I can't believe you just let him treat you like that, like,
That was dreadful. You kept saying, take your earrings off. I'm thinking like Angela, Tasha.
"Oh,
But
Angela."
we're gonna definitely talk about her. I have a love-hate relationship with her as
Yeah,
well. Phenomenal actress. Y'all can see her on the bottom right of the screen right there. But yeah, poor Sheila, poor Jill Scott. But before I like go from character to character, like just the setup of the movie, I like how it opened. Patricia Janet Jackson. She's a professor, best-selling author. And those kids in school are trying to learn. We don't care about this book. We care about why did I get married in this trip. We want to know the deets. We want to know the drama. Is this person still with this person? What's going over here? Is your husband Gavin? Did he get the contract? And pediatrician and the lawyers and all what is going on, at the barbershop. And it was a bit forward, but yeah, hey, whatever. I'm entertained and I'm
nosy
having fun.
kids.
I'm not married. I do want to hear from the married people in the comment section. How do y'all feel about this type of vacation, this type of retreat? Would you go, would you do something, would you participate in something like this? Have you participated in something like this? Do you recommend it? Yay or nay? Kimberly, how do you feel about this? I know we're not married.
Um,
Is this something that you would do or be like, no, that's a little too close for comfort? How you feeling about all that?
I gotta tell you, I was a wedding planner for years, and I can't tell you how many arguments I've heard of people being like, "Oh, this girl is my one of my bridesmaids, but I don't even know her. She just wants to be in there with the girls." And I've always been traditional, so whenever my brides would come to me, like when you're a wedding planner, you're kind of like a counselor too. And they're like, "Oh, I don't want her to be my bridesmaid. Like, how do I get her out?" And
Oh
I
my
would tell
gosh, are you
people,
serious?
yeah, oh no, I got stories for
Wow,
days.
okay.
But I would always share with people traditions. And one of the traditions of bridesmaids and groomsmen are that these are the people who are supposed to shepherd you through your marriage. These are the people that you're supposed to go to them. These are the people that are supposed to answer the phone and go, "We're having problems." So traditionally, the bridesmaids and the role of the bridesmaids and the groomsmen are supposed to be people that are there for you through your marriage, that are like, okay, you ain't sleeping on my couch another night. You're gonna go talk to your wife. You're gonna work this out. That is the role of a bridesmaid and groomsman. It's almost like the role of a godfather to a child. It's almost like the godfather and godmother over your marriage. So
Mm,
traditionally, that if I always tell people, when you are facing issues with your husband down the line, is this a girl that you're going to call that's not going to gossip about you, that's going to pray over you, or that's going to help you see, if you don't pray, that's going to help you seek counsel, that's not going to be like, yeah, girl, he's trash, but be like, hey, remember your wedding day, remember why you married him, let's talk about this. Traditionally, that is the role. So when I saw this movie, it's funny you asked that, as I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, of course, there was no footage of weddings, but I'm like, when all these ladies got married, all these characters, these must have been their bridesmaids and
mm,
groomsmen,
I
because
see.
this is supposed to be the role. And for all those people out there, if you want the question answered, if you don't see yourself going on a trip like this with your bridesmaids and groomsmen, they shouldn't be in your party. Okay. So I think this is healthy. I think this is great because it's a sense of community. Because I think a lot of times we get into the, girl, whatever you say, I'm gonna believe and back you up and say he's a dog and say he's trash. It's like, no, I don't need friends like that. I need friends that'll call me out. I need friends that will, let's play a game. Let's do it, not a game, but like let's a psychology workshop, and let's have transparency and community enough with each other to get up and I feel comfortable in front of my friends saying, you know what, I feel like we're not connecting, and I feel like we're missing this, and to trust people to speak into your life. So I would totally go on a trip like this, but only with people that would pray me through, only with people that would wash me in the water of the word, only with people that would help me seek counsel and not just be like, yeah, girl, he's a dog. Move out, get your own place. Like people that are supposed to remind you why you got married and help bring you back together. So I think it's really cool. to do something like that. And I think people need to look at their group of friends. And if you really can't say that, um, I think you got to kind of reevaluate your close community of married friends. So I think this is mad cool. I would totally do this, but definitely with the right group of people.
Yes. Key thing I would too. Key thing you said at the end there is it depends on the right people.
Yeah.
I 100%. Because I think I would too. Because I mean, we all have different friend levels and all that. You can joke with these friends about this, joke with these friends about that, yada yada yada. But yeah, I wouldn't go with Mike. I couldn't do it. He's a
Mike needs to go.
mm,
Nope,
man.
he's not invited.
This guy here is just a jerk. Like seriously, seriously, seriously. While I was entertained, maybe they could have checked him a bit more. And they did, I guess. But when they're out there, yeah, man, cheat on your wife. If she ain't sleeping with you, that is law. That is
That's in the
law.
Declaration
Go
of
out there
Independence.
to go and get some. Now
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in this fight right here. Again, we can hear from the married people out there. But Kimberly, if a spouse is not giving it up, and mind you, I didn't say husband or wife, I said spouse. So it can go either or. If a spouse is not giving it up, I probably know the answer, but I don't want to assume. You know, do you have a right to be like, hey, I'm doing everything, the bills are paid, the house is clean. I will be back. I put the kids to bed 3 to 4 no, 4 nights out of the week. I fill up the car with gas. I do this. I do that. I got your mama staying in the pool house. We go on 17 vacations a year. But this sex every 7 months is not going to work. Does he have a right to go out and get some from somebody else? And let's just have the movie. She don't want to have kids. Marriage, you got to have communication.
Mhm.
She don't want to communicate. She got her tubes tied.
Oh
Uh,
god.
he don't trust that the baby's his. Uh,
Oh my gosh.
he's getting a DNA test, which I feel that DNA tests should just be mandatory at birth. That's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be revealed, because you could be married, and I know again I'm talking a lot. It don't have to be revealed because you can have a married couple. Look, we trust each other, we love each other. We don't got to look, but at least it's on file. Real talk though.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Go. Mike is encouraging cheating because Taylor. What is his name? What is
Terry.
Terry? Wait, is it
Terry's not getting any from
You're
Diane.
correct. Terry and Perry. Terry is not getting any from Diane. Where you at on all that, man? Where you at?
Oh, that's a lot.
About that.
No, but one of the things I do want to say in totality is the reason why I really like that Tyler Perry did this film is that it was a film about people exploring marriage. And
Mhm.
instead of how a lot of times we just get one side in a film, we get one side of the story. We just get, okay, in this film, yeah, they're married, but they're cheating. In this film, I like that this film is causing what? The conversation. Like you
Mhm.
said, you have so much to say, and I think that's great. And I think that it was great to see a black film that is supporting and exploring all the different facets of marriage and how it's not just cheating. It's not just you're not being a good dad. It's there's so many different issues in terms of communication. And I loved seeing this on the screen and being like, yes, let's talk about all the issues of marriage. No, I don't believe that not having getting any gives you the right to step out. But at the same time, I do think that sometimes people use sex as a weapon.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I don't agree with women or men that use sex as a weapon. He didn't do the dishes, so you're not getting any. I don't believe in that. I think that it's important for wives and husbands to communicate and understand how we're different biologically, like how we're different psychologically. Like some women don't need sex as much as men. Some women do.
Correct.
But you have to understand each other and know your love language, And so for men, sometimes I know women are like, all he wants to do is get some. We got to understand for a man, that's his love language. That's a part of his love language. I'm not going to say my love language is getting some, But in terms of what different partners need, that's important to talk about. Like for
Yes.
us, is sex just sex, or is it, this is how you remind me that I'm your man. This is how I stay connected to you. Um, this is how we stay vulnerable with each other. So it's not just always, oh, he's just using me. I feel like a prostitute. If that's how you feel, then let's talk about it because you're missing the connection. So my
Yeah.
thing is, honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's great you pay the bills. I think it's great you got mother-in-law in a pool house. I think that's great. But if we're not able to be intimate and have that connection, all of that means nothing. In 20 years, all of that's going to mean nothing. I would rather be broke and connected with you than bling blinging and missing and being ships in the night. I would rather be poor with you and have intimacy and be connected than to have everything and be like, he just doesn't see me. I don't see him. We're not connected. So I think it causes great discussions, but I think marriage at the end of the day is communication. Like you said, how could she, you got your damn tubes tied,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
without telling him? Like,
Crazy.
that's incredibly selfish. And even though people can say, well, it's her body, well, it's also her marriage. This person is not just here to pay your bills and to do your honey-do list. This is your partner. So
Yeah.
if it is your body, then talk to him about why you're gonna do it, or why you're strongly considering, or why, I'm sorry, but another kid is just off the table. But still, let's talk about it.
Is it? I mean, I know if they're just tied, you can put them back together. Um,
I
and
think yeah, you can get it because you can get a vasectomy reversed. I know.
um,
I always think of that episode of The Office where Michael was like, "Snip, snap, snip, snap." I can't go back and forth.
I just wanted to know like how difficult it was. I can look that up. But or you can let us
To
know in the
untie, I
comments.
believe you can
I'm
untie.
very confident. But how would you feel, or would you say something to your husband if he had a friend like Mike? Or you want to be like, babe, I don't like this guy. Look, you him or me, or something like that. Or you just like,
Mhm.
oh, Mike, just make sure he stays away from me, and you good type, you know.
I think it depends on what level you're letting that person into your life,
That's
and what
fair.
the roles are. Because if it's your ministry to be a light, if it's your ministry, it's all over. As a believer myself, I can only talk for myself because I know I'm not talking to I'm not. I know our audience comes in all religions and faiths, so I can only speak for myself, guys. If you don't believe like I do, I totally respect that. This is just my filter. My filter is, what is your role in his life? Are you like a big brother? Are you like a father figure? So hopefully he can look up to you and see how you respect me, and see the error of his ways. So I wouldn't automatically be like, yo, don't hang out with him anymore, because I'm like, maybe God's using you to help open his eyes. But I would say, if you're giving him a place where you're allowing him with his nonsense to speak into your life, and sharing about our marriage and allowing him to speak on our marriage, because I want my husband to have accountability, brotherhood. That's really important. I want him to have people. I'm not one of those people that's like, don't be talking to anybody about our business. I think it's important to seek wise counsel. But are you looking at that fool as your wise counsel? Are you looking at a fool and go, can you speak into my life about, man, he can't even handle his own, so I would just ask my husband, like, what is the position that you're giving him in terms of wise counsel? Are you the wise counsel to him, or do you think you're gleaning anything from this man? And if so, then we need to talk about it, because if I see you, acting upside your own head, like, maybe you're getting it from him. So it's about influence. But I wouldn't, my husband, I think it's important. Something that this movie made me think about is, it's important to, again, communicate. I'm not your mother. If I'm someone's wife, I'm your wife. I'm not your mother. I don't tell you who to play with, but we communicate and talk about who's breathing into your life and who's not.
Yeah.
If someone took you to a strip club, that's a conversation. That's not even for me. That's not even an automatic. Oh, don't hang out with them anymore. That's like, hey, I got to speak into your life, and we got to communicate about this. That's not to happen again. But in terms of that person, like, look, if God's leading you to minister to them, that's one thing. But if you're taking what they say as like, oh, I really, what he said about the 2080 thing was really reached me. Yo, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah. And this guy, he laughed at his wife, man, when she tried to come in with the lingerie, like, ha, ha, ha. Like, oh my God, I hated him. That's how
That was
Tyler Perry,
awful.
wrote him. Turned off her cell phone, left her with $87,
Oh my God.
came crawling back at the end.
Didn't even check on her. He didn't even check on her to see, did your car slide on the ice? Like,
Yeah.
you're going up a mountain in a BMW or like, like,
It was a bit much, in
bruh.
the morning. Hey, did you call your wife to see if she's okay? No, she's gonna be all right. When she came in, he was like disappointed, like, oh God, my mom's here. You're ruining all the fun. That's insane right there. But it was fun to unpack in this movie. But yeah, he got to go. I would feel some type
Yeah,
of
and
way.
the friend too, like, homegirl,
Yeah, it's
"Oh,
ridiculous.
you standing a little too close to my man."
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and that whole she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hang out here with the guys," and Angela was like, "No, you're not. You're
yeah.
gonna get your ass in the
Yes,
kitchen with the
that is
rest of us.
why
I'm not
I
leaving you
love
alone with that
yes,
bitch." That was
she was
funny.
hilarious with that. Even before that, when they met, when, Marcus was trying to pick up her bag, she walked over and knocked it on the ground. She can pick it, like, just didn't care, unapologetic, like, "Yes, I just threw your bag on the ground. She can pick it
Oh,
up." I
Angela.
love it. I feel her on that, fellas, be smart, let Terry or Gavin pick up the bags, or have her do it herself. So yeah, I love Angela for that. Like you just said, no, you can bring your ass in here. Uh, Whore, tramp,
She
skeezer,
called her every name in the book but
to
a
the
street
face.
urchin,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
dang,
I
that
like
was harsh.
I liked it. I liked it. Earlier I said I had a love-hate relationship, with her character because I do like that aspect right there. That's fierce and it was well placed and I'm not tripping, but if we on the bus, if we on the train and you just screaming, I'm just like, woman, please stop it. I love you, but
But
you know,
what makes me sad, Brandon, is in this what they didn't have back in 2007. Well, actually they did, but they didn't use it the way I think back in '07, did we have I think we just started getting cameras on our phone. When did that happen? In '07, did we have cameras on our
no, I
phone?
know that's
I
when
think so, because I think
oh,
The block Nokias started having cameras, and it was like, "Oh my gosh, I got a camera on my Nokia." I'm like,
I
too
mean,
late.
no, well, you yeah, I'm actually remembering phones I had in college. Cause okay, huh?
Did we?
Kind of want to Google that, but no,
You
keep.
guys, comment down below. Did you have a
Uh,
camera on your phone back in '07?
hmm.
I
Uh,
wanna know. I wanna know. This is how
uh,
you let the chat know how old you are.
I mean, they had those camera phones. They say 99 and then 2002, but those I mean, it was a camera, but it sucked. I do remember. No, I do remember a camera in 2003. I had my first cell phone in 2000 when I was 16, but it was a Nokia with Snake and it was green screen. And I remember I had that same phone when I was a freshman in college and I was 18 at that time, and that was 2002. So camera phones really, I don't think popped off really until like 2003.
Okay.
Anyway,
The
so
reason I bring it up is that Angela, because now the way people use their phones as like, "I got you, gotcha, gotcha." Unfortunately, there's a lot of Angelas out there. There's Karens and then there's Angelas. Is she a Angela? Yeah, and that's the sad thing. Is like when we see videos of somebody disrupting everyone else's peace because they're having an issue with one person, and they're like, I don't care," because like recently, like that lady, like that one Karen that took the ball from the dad,
mm.
and
Oh,
then she gave everybody the
yeah,
finger,
yeah.
and everyone's booing her. She's like, I don't care. It's my ball. And so unfortunately, like we look at this character Angela and go, oh my gosh, nobody's like that.
Yeah.
a lot of people are Angela's, and I think I like her character. I think I like her in the sense that she's funny, but
Mhm.
I really can't stand when people behave like that. I'm gonna take care of mine. I don't care that you're sleeping. I don't care that you're having a conversation. I don't care that I'm on a plane or a train. I don't care. I think it gives a bad look to whoever you represent. It gives a bad look to you and yours, and it makes it like you want to talk about like when you're like when you ask me the question like is it okay for people to step out? I know it's not, but
Yeah,
can
I don't feel
but
it's okay either.
no, it's not. But like I think when you act like this, when you antagonize a man all the freaking time, you're pushing him away, pushing him away. Oh, let me see your phone. Oh, you're cheating. Oh, did you call that? What man wants to come home to that? But at the same time, I think we all have those friends that are like, you are addicted to drama. Like,
Oh yeah,
you do have guys that are like, I actually don't want to call women. There's some guys that love them and Angela.
yeah,
So don't let me yuck
yeah.
on your yum or whatever. Like
Right.
there's some people that love to be an Angela and there's some guys that love them in Angela. So
Mm. That Marcus
I
did it.
just
Yeah.
oh
He
my
said
God.
he said that's how we like to love each other. And he was like, I like the arguing. It makes the making up so much better.
Ugh,
And
I'd be have a heart attack for
I am a fan of Michael John White, but yeah, they were both cheating on each other. He was with Keisha,
He
she
is
was with
so
Walter,
funny.
and yeah, she gave it to him. Burned him, and she didn't care either. She was like, yeah. You didn't get it from Keisha. You got it from Walter. I ain't gay. No, I slept with him. I was waiting for you to say something. Boom.
I
Like,
remember that scene in the theater being like, "Oh
yeah,
my gosh."
yeah. Yeah, that was that was pretty crazy. Angela was she was a firecracker, but she I like the conversation that Marcus had with the his wife Angela and his baby mama Keisha out in front of the house. Like, hey, you need to
That was
chill out.
good.
And you need to
Yeah.
chill out. And I'm about to go take a walk because y'all are getting on my nerve. And she cooked him a meal. He thought it was poisonous. I thought it was funny. But yeah, she was like, "Yeah, And notice her hair changed during that scene. She didn't have on dark clothes anymore. She had like on a red dress, like she
During
just
the
had
dinner scene?
no, towards the end where she cooked food for him.
No, yeah, when she cooked dinner, she wasn't wearing the same thing?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I think throughout the whole movie, I think she was wearing a bunch of dark clothes.
Oh.
But at that end where she was like, "I want to be nice, pleasant, and sweet, and cook food for you," I'm going to wear something bright and red. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened. And I just kind of like that she, kind of had a 180 and turned over a new leaf and be like, I'm not going to be talking to you crazy. We in this together. I love you. I love you. I love you. Gavin and Patricia. Patricia is the expert. Of course, we know what happens in the sequel, but we're not going to talk about that yet. But the baby passed away. She was rushing, didn't double check the car seat to make sure it was strapped in properly, slid off the road. There was an accident. The baby is not here anymore. Oh man, there are I can only imagine. There are just some things that you will never be able to get over. In my opinion, that's one of them. We don't have to go down the list, but man, that sucks.
That
And they had the scene in the kitchen, and she's like chicken or steak. He's like, look at the picture, look at the picture. He was getting on my nerve a little bit because I was even saying to myself, "Damn, will you just shut up and listen to what she got to say? You trying to, like chill out." Yeah, man. What are your thoughts there, if any?
gosh, I feel like that situation made Mike's behavior even that much worse because it's one thing to to be at a table and be like, "Oh, I'll tell everyone's secret," and be like, "You're cheating. You got this." I'm like, those are on a certain level, but talking about a child's death, that doesn't
It's
wrap up
crazy,
in there correctly. You
right?
can't be like, "Well, you're cheating and you got VD." Oh yeah, and when your baby died, your husband said you were
God,
stupid. What?
my God, the way you just said it. Yeah,
Wait, what? Like you don't joke like it's one thing to tell people's
be
business,
cool with
but
you no more.
That's incredibly cruel to just lump that in
Yeah,
there.
I
Like,
hate that's what.
wow. Wow. Ask doesn't even begin to explain how terrible he is. But
Yeah,
yeah, I thought it was interesting how one thing I liked about this movie that I feel like Tyler Perry did very well is one telling the story of what happened to their kid because he alludes to it, and then about three-quarters of the way through the film, then we find out what happened. But you just like in the beginning, you just know you're
something
like, oh,
happened.
that was weird, or I wonder why they say that. Oh, wait, something happened to their kid. Oh, shoot, what happened? So I thought it was good the way he wrote that. But also another thing that I thought he did well was show us different types of friends without being crazy stereotypical. Like, when you watch a movie and a girl comes in, flips her hair, and she's got the makeup and the this, and you're like, okay, that's the cheerleader. And then someone comes in with a leather jacket and they're brooding, you're like, okay, that's the tough guy. And then someone who wears their Letterman jacket everywhere, okay, that's the jock. I like that these characters had nuance. I like that you could see the different types of friends you have without being overtly stereotypical. So I think we do like if you think about your group of friends, especially if you're coupled up, like I know when you're single, you got like different groups, but like when you're coupled up, you're engaged and married, you have like you're married, now you have your married friends, and now you have a different caliber of friends. I think a lot of people, women and men, can say, you know what, I do have that friend that's kind of like the group counselor, but come to think of it, I never know anything about what they're going through.
Mm,
That's interesting.
mm.
I
I
think
like
we all have that friend,
You're right. You're right.
and she was a great example of how, yeah, everyone's coming to you and calling you at work with their problems and coming to you, and you're sitting there going, "You guys, I'm a doctor. I know what this is about. Like, let
Perfect
me walk
Patty.
you through this."
Perfect
And
Patty
you're like,
is her name. Yeah.
"That's cool, perfect Patty." But part of friendship is an equal transfer of emotions and transparency. So it's great that you're counseling us, but if you're amongst friends that you trust, then you need to also have your weak moments. You need to, because I start to I think what people weren't seeing is like you start to kind of lose faith in those type of friends when they aren't transparent as well. Because
Yeah.
you can't play that game forever. At some point people are going to be like, it'll turn into resentment. Like, hey, it's cool that you're always helping us, but come to think of it, you're always talking about what we're going through and what our issues are and what's wrong with us. But at the end of the day, like, when was the last time you told us about you cried uncontrollably and you lost it? And he mentioned this, and you deep down, you think, I think my husband, like, when was the last time she told one of those women, I think he blames me? I think he hates me.
Yeah. And she came to the rescue here in this scene too.
Yeah.
They dumped
Yeah.
on her like, Terry moved out. I don't know what to do, and Marcus is doing this, and she was like, you got to do this, you got to do that, make a list, but yeah, perfect Patty made a mistake. I don't blame him for blaming her. I mean, I know, and I don't mean to be a jerk and insensitive, but he's trying to console her as she's, being emotional. It's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. It is your fault. It is. Am I wrong for saying that?
No, I think that's
I want to
respectful.
know, and I don't think he's wrong for going over there to Mike's house. Maybe why can't he go to Terry's or the
I
other?
know.
You know what
Why
I'm
you
saying?
gotta go there?
He gotta go to his house.
Yeah.
Ruin the trip. We don't get our deposit back. But instead of, I'm not mad at him for running over there and be like, how can she be so stupid? Now if you're watching this and that really happened to you in real life, I am sorry for your loss. And I hope that just don't ever happen to nobody ever. Nobody deserves to experience that. And Lord, I hope it don't happen to me. But if I do that, man, I made a dumb mistake. You know, some mistakes have bigger consequences than others. How do you feel about that? Is he wrong for? Because she was mad. I didn't know you blamed me for it. What do you mean you didn't know? Like,
I think I agree. I think the healthiest relationships are The healthiest relationship I was in was when somebody was so honest with me. Sometimes I hurt my feelings, but
Yeah,
to this day, it's the best relationship I've ever been in because I'd actually never had a guy be so incredibly honest with me, and I appreciated it, even though it was like, "Ow, that hurt." But at the end of the day, I think that is marriage is not supposed to be, "Oh, babying you." Marriage is supposed to be being able to say, "Are you" like, not that girl thing, like, "Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me?" Then you need to be able to take it when they go, "Yeah." Because that's marriage is saying, "Yeah, I am.
yeah.
I am. I have to get this out.
I like how
And
you
I
said
know this is gonna hurt, but how do you not buckle in a 3-year-old?"
you kind
And
of
then you
transform right there, Kim. Like a
I
whole
what?
kind of transform right there into a whole different character. Like,
Did I?
yeah, I like it. My fault.
Did my mind go back?
Yeah, I threw you off. Yeah, keep going. You're doing great. Keep going. I
Oh,
missed
wow,
it.
I must have tapped into something
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Keep going. My fault.
But no, but I think that is good to have those hard marriage is about having hard conversations and being able to bounce back. It's not about placating your emotions all the time. That's
Cool.
not a real relationship. That's like having somebody that's always like, "Do I look good?" and not telling you you have spinach in your teeth. Not telling you like, "Girl, your weave, I see it,
Yeah.
all of it." Like that's someone just being like, "You're so pretty." Like, "Girl, let me get you right." That's part of getting someone right is like, is honesty and the transparency. So I think that, but also in terms of friendship, I think it was good. I think it's good. That's why I say your bridesmaids and your groomsmen are those people you should be able to say things that you normally wouldn't say in front of a crowd of people. I
Yeah.
need someone that I can go to and go, I how could you be so stupid and not buckle in a 3-year-old? Like that's kind of a horrible thing to say, but it's a very honest thing to say, and it's an honest emotion. And
Yeah.
you need those friends that can take it and not just be like, "Don't say that." Like
Yeah. Like
I'm
that.
not big on telling people don't say that. I'm really big on like get it out, whatever it is. Like I'm a believer. I'm a Christian, but I've had friends that have gone through stuff and I'm like, just say the F word. It's okay. Say it. Say fuck. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. Like that's how get it out. I'm not gonna stand here and babysit your emotions. Like you have to get it out. Like God can handle your anger. He can handle your disappointment. He can handle your frustration, you know?
I my goodness gracious, slipped my mind. I agree 100%. Get it out. Hurt my feelings. I would prefer that. That's how I grew up. That's my mom, my dad, and my brother will always tell me the truth. My
My
mom,
sisters will always tell me the truth,
she was like
especially
Brandon.
when my clothes don't match.
Yeah, she was like, if you don't want to know the truth, Brandon, don't ask. And so I wish everybody was like that. I understand you don't want to. You got to tailor it and pick your art. Your choose your battles. Um,
And that
you
makes
know,
more interesting too. I don't want a man that's always like, "Babe, you look so good. You look so good." Like,
I'll
it's
tell you.
kind of funny when you're like, "That
Tell
ain't
me
it.
the
Go back,
truth.
change your shoes."
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, yeah, I want you to communicate. That's you're silly. That's very, very important in my opinion. And also, I like the way that Terry told Diane no when she wanted to talk to him about telling her, agent,
Assistant.
colleague, assistant,
Oh,
secretary not to call. She was upset. I don't blame him. Um, I'm just thinking I'm not gonna just put my I don't want to talk about my parents' business too much, but kind of one of their things is they don't open each other's mail. They've been married for 45 years.
wow.
They was
Okay,
married in
Avery's.
yeah, they was married in 1980. They just celebrated
Wow.
their 45th year anniversary.
Oh.
I've seen so much. But one of their things is when I was watching this, there was that, Diane was mad, like, wait a minute. He told you what? I got the important case. Hey, this is our vacation, my birthday. Well, no, this was the 8th month span, but no, it wasn't his birthday. It was on vacation. Yeah. So I don't know. Was he right? Was he wrong? You know, my parents have a thing. They don't open each other's mail. They just don't do that. You know, I asked my mom why. She once told me, she's like, it's none of your business. That's just what we do. That's real talk. She's very, very honest.
Mama Avery coming through with the
Yeah.
authority.
Sometimes I ask something, I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't know that. She was like, you should have asked. But anyway, how do you feel about that? Like, you know, going through phones, telling people, hey, we kicking it over here, leave us alone, all that stuff. As far as the
I
movie is concerned.
No, yeah, I totally believe in I totally believe in trust and transparency. I don't believe in obviously your phone needs to be locked because if you're out and about and whatever, but I believe in I should have your code, you should have mine. What you shouldn't be doing anything that I would have to question you on because if I'm on your phone, it's not because I don't trust you, it's because maybe I'm looking for something or you had some information or I know you put something in your notes that I didn't have or like I would never, but if you're at the point where you think someone's cheating, them giving you a password is the least of your problems. You got bigger problems. So I actually liked the way he said no, and I liked it because I mean, there's a line between men and women, okay, and women. I'm not bashing anyone, but that are like so controlling and like I think we've many of us have seen relationships where a woman or a man tries to do something, and before they say yes to whoever they're talking to, they turn over. It's okay with you, babe. It's okay with you. No, no. Okay, like it's like not like that, but I think there's something really honestly. I think there's something really sexy about the way. Honestly, when Tyler Perry said that, I was like, that was kind of hot. Like,
I
I
give it to
like that. I
you.
like that he took some
Okay,
authority
Tyler.
in his. Yeah, I was like, maybe you are kind of handsome. I don't know. But I like that he took that authoritative stance and was like, no. I
Yeah.
really like that because I think that there are some men that I would love to see them tell. I see some relationships. I'm like, man, if you don't stand up and tell that woman no, you were getting on my nerves. So, yes, dear, yes, dear, yes, dear. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I kind of, I don't know. I think respecting your spouse is important. I think people forget, everyone's into the mushy gushy love, but people forget about respect.
Yeah.
And also, like, if your husband says no like that, you should be able to feel in your spirit and trust, like, oh, there's something that he's seeing that I don't see. Like, that should be the transparency in the relationship. Just like if your wife is like, I'm not with that, then you shouldn't be like, oh, you're trying to control me. You should be like, wow, I really trust her judgment. I really trust her relationship with the Lord or whatever religion you guys are out there. Like, I really trust her instincts. Um, oh, she said no. Well, since I trust her, I think I'm just gonna be like, okay.
There you
But
go.
if you don't trust your spouse and they're like, no, you got bigger issues than them saying no right there. So I don't, I like that he did that
Right
because
on.
he was like, this is more than no, don't talk to anyone right now. This is our marriage. You are not spending enough time. You are not being present. I'm putting my foot down. And I'm trying to connect with you. How many women would love for a man to be like, I want to connect with you. I don't want to just be up here and be all up in everyone's business. I want to take a walk with you. I want to take a hike with you. A lot of women or a lot of people beg for life for someone to treat them like that. And then when you have it, you disrespect it. I didn't like that. So I like that he put his foot down.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
Tyler. Okay, Tyler.
I like it too. How would you feel if if you put yourself in Diane's shoes, you forget your husband's birthday, and you go home and he having ice cream on the couch, or no, they weren't on the couch. I think that was in the kitchen at the
In the
table.
kitchen.
I see you eye rolling over there. You're huffing and puffing. Hold on, hold on,
Oh
hold on, hold on,
my
hold on. You forget your husband's birthday. He walking in having ice cream. you know, and then he replies back, "You can't come in here giving me no dang ultimatums."
girl.
Now, when I first saw that scene, I was like, "Whoa, Tyler! Like, I understand she forgot your birthday, but some lines you just don't cross. I mean, your home is an intimate place. It's
Yes.
not a house; it's a home. And for you to bring another woman in and have an eye, like what's going on? That's not cool. However, we find out that this is the babysitter, the maid, the driver, she be picking up the kids, so she already be in the house anyway. So maybe she brought the kids home and, oh, what are you doing for your birthday? I don't know. My wife, my call my wife to ask her, but it's going straight to voicemail. I was like,
man,
well, I got some ice cream right here. She come in, she think it's an affair, you know what I'm saying? And then he joking around talking about, wait, she pregnant with twins. He was wrong. I gotta chill out. But I was like, I like how Tyler kind of, tricked me there a little bit. I was like, whoa, he tripping. I was like, well, maybe it's somewhat justified. How you feeling about that whole scenario, man?
Dude, I think that's terrible. I think you really have to reevaluate. You really have to reevaluate your life if you are so busy that you miss your husband's birthday.
Yeah.
You have some reevaluating to do. You should feel terrible. You shouldn't. And I hate it when people are like it's gaslighting when you've done something you know is wrong. I was like on Instagram the other day. It was one of those like red flag, green flag things, and this guy was like bitching because he forgot his wife's something birthday anniversary. He's like, I don't have to get a card. Like own up to it, like own up to it, own that. Don't be so eager to not feel the negative feelings. Like just make me feel better. Like, come on, forgive me. That's gaslighting. Don't tell someone forgive me like right now. Like let them have their feelings because what you did was wrong. You need to own up to it. That's awful. And if he forgot yours, you would be all over that. So don't even. I thought that was incredibly disrespectful to her partner to not only forget his birthday, but then to come up in there with accusations. Now, mind you, on his side, what I think is not, I don't think it's appropriate. Mind you, in the story, you do find out like that assistant, she's just a nice lady. Yes, she's beautiful. Yes, she's gorgeous.
And
But is she what?
And she had a boyfriend too.
She had her own. She was not trying to be a part of your anything. Like it was innocent. However, there can be innocent things that are inappropriate. You feel me? Like there can be an honest person that was like, she just came over, you weren't here, so she brought me a little candle and a cupcake, and that was nice of her. I personally, if that was my boss, I'd be like, I will pray for you. Bye. Like I'm not. Even though it's nice, and I'm not trying to get in your pants. I'm not trying to be your side chick. It's just not appropriate. So that whole situation was inappropriate. And even if she brought over a cake and you knew it wasn't going to turn into anything, you hold the door at a crack. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for the cake. Oh, no, not right now. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. You don't just be like, yeah, let's have a birthday party for one. No, that's not appropriate. But it was, Diane was, first of all, you're deflecting. You go from I did something wrong to like, and you better get out of my house, and you you need to fire her, girl. Why don't you sit in your mistake before you deflect and try to? No. She was all the way wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at him for moving out. She was like, "What do you want?" earlier. But they made up. That's cool. It was yes. So going back to, was it Patricia and it was not
Sheila and Mike.
Not no, Sheila, not Sheila and Mike, Sheila and Troy. Sheila and Troy. They hit
Park Ranger.
I like the brother.
I like him a lot.
He's cool. I really did like his role in this.
Only you can prevent forest fires, baby. That was so cute.
Lamont.
I love their relationship.
Yeah, and it was just perfect. I was laughing at first because when Sheila and him met in the police station, she was like, "Hey, where's the lodge?" He's like, "It's 5 miles away, but there's a tree down. You're not going to be able to get there in the morning." Put her in the cell. I'm like, damn, she got to sleep in jail. This sucks. And I don't blame him for asking the question. Like, wait a minute, why are you by yourself going to a couples retreat in the middle of the night? This doesn't make any sense. That's a valid question. It's kind of personal too. She was like, "Oh, my husband went ahead." Then he gonna come through like, "Oh, if it was me, I would never have done it to my wife." And she did a little polite jab back, like, "Oh, are you married?"
Well, that's why you don't have one.
Just not laughing.
No.
And she was like, "Oh, are you married?" And he was like, "Divorced." And I was like, "Oh, he came back." I'm getting too excited, but it was funny. It was funny to me. I did like the writing there. Even how subtle and simple it was. I really got a tickle out of that scene right there. But their relationship was great. I like how it flourished. When the crap hit the fan, and he was like, "Yeah, it is true." Mike speaking, like, I am cheating on you. I am committing adultery. I am sneaking down the hall in the middle of the night and clapping cheeks. And he just met everybody 10 minutes ago. He's like,
Damn,
"Hi,
Brandon.
everybody. Thank you for being here." You know, I was laughing my ass off of that scene right there too. He was like, "Man, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here, man." So that was funny.
Bottle to the head. Bottle
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
head.
bottle to the head. But one of my favorite scenes in the movie is coming up next is when he knew that she was going through it, and that like he literally he just met this woman and then just saw her life crumble, like just destroyed in front of her. I mean, like, besides you finding out that a loved one has passed away, that's some of the worst news you can get. And just to be so cruel with it, the way Mike was, when he took her up there on the mountain top, and it was snowing, and he was like, "Sometime I just come out here," and she just expressed how emotional she was and how she felt, and like, why did he betray me? I was like, man, you just got connect. This is a great
She's
scene.
such a good. Have you ever seen the number one ladies detective agency?
I have not. I have
It's
not.
a show. Jill Scott is a mystery show she did. It was
Okay.
on HB. It was an HBO original, and she's in Africa, and she starts a PI company.
Mm,
And she's the star of the show. She's such a good actress. You guys
okay.
check out the number one ladies detective agency. She plays an
Yeah.
African woman. It's so good. But yeah, anyway, but Jill Scott is a great actress. I love me some Jill Scott.
Mm,
Oh, I love her. I think is she the last person I saw in concert? Like a long time ago. I love Jill Scott to
yeah.
my soul. I love her to my soul. But just every expression in her face, she's so expressive, and
Yes.
every emotion she acts out so very, very, very well.
Very.
And a lot of times singers do make great actors. But God, I just love her so much. But and she did so good
Yeah.
in this movie, just playing a woman that's downtrodden but trying to hold on to faith,
Yeah.
and finally connecting with that anger. I mean, you went from like, oh, Mike, he'll get it together, to like bottle to the head. Like, that anger is there.
Yeah.
But some people, especially when you grow up in faith, um you want to make it work so bad because you feel like a divorce is, God will be mad at me. By the way, God doesn't hate divorce because it's just simply divorce. He hates what it does to his children.
Mm,
If you
okay.
need to get out of a situation, God makes allowances for divorce. So I hate it when people use that argument. Well, like, I can't get a divorce even though he hit me upside my head because God will be mad at me. No, no, God wants you to be safe and happy
Yeah.
emotionally and physically. But I love that he connected with her on a soul level. He wasn't like, uh, there, lady, would you like a Kleenex? How about some hot chocolate? No, he's like, let me take you to this mountaintop that I scream, I cry, I question God, I cry out to God. Like, you can be angry up here, you can be anything up here. Like, I love that because he was ministering to her soul.
Yes.
And I love that about Troy. I just love her, Troy.
Wonderful. And even before that, I really felt sorry for her when she was driving, and she's like, "I need some more upbeat music. I'm gonna go and save my marriage." I was like, "Oh, this sucks." I got some. That was a dramatic moment. Mountaintop was a dramatic moment. Funny moment for me was at the table, and Angela was like, "Yes." Mike was getting jealous because Trina and Troy were flirting and conversing on the, hey, what are you guys talking about? Bro, what the hell is wrong with you? Angela, wait a minute. Why can't these two single people have a conversation, Mike? What's going on? I applauded, and Angela's like, hey, I think these two single people should go on by themselves. And Sheila just comes in like, yes, I agree. I don't know, but I thought that was funny too. She had the best performance in the movie to me by far.
Yeah,
She,
for
she,
sure.
she knocked it out the park right there. But unless I miss anything, Kim, we come up to the end.
Mm,
Of course, they're breaking the fourth wall right here. But I need to see this movie spans over 8 months
yeah,
because they
it's a
go on
lot to
the
happen in
yeah,
8 months.
they go on the trip. And then Patricia says, like, I got the award. I want y'all to come to the ceremony. It's 8 months in the future. So 8 month trip.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Sheila didn't update her friends about her and Troy's marriage. I mean,
That was not practical. That was not a practical part of the story.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think in terms of the writing, that wasn't great, because that took you out of the friendship. That
yeah.
took you out of the closeness of the group because we're so close, like, your friends are checking on you, they're sincerely concerned, you guys are talking about very intimate things, um, and you didn't like, was she a missing person? I thought that was poor writing because that was like, did you guys not be like, "Hey, did you get home safe? Oh,
Right.
you're still in Colorado?" She was
With
there for 8 months, and you're like,
$87.
"You've been in there for 80 with
She's like,
less than $100 in Colorado? I had no idea,
yeah.
and I didn't know that you fell in love, and I didn't know you got a divorce." Like, first of all, a divorce is not gonna happen that quickly, and secondly, I just thought that was poor. I Something you bring up a good point, Brandon, is that I felt like the movie was well paced until the end.
He does sometimes splits speed blitz
Oh,
to
that was
certain things sometimes.
ridiculous.
With- with-
How did you not tell your super close girlfriends that know about your sex life, that know about your intimate life, that know about arguments, that know when you're broke? How did you not tell them, girl, I was married now. I'd be on the phone with everybody like, girl, I'm still in Colorado, cold as hell, but I was married now. Like, I would tell everybody, I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna surprise that. Like, you couldn't keep that as a surprise
Yeah.
even especially with the bad marriage you were in, there's no way. So that was just not that just wasn't practical. I think if like the most busy person hadn't heard, I'm like, okay, that's a little bit more practical because they had so much going on. It
Yes.
would be more like, yeah, girl, she got married. Like, we didn't want to bother you, but like, or they'd be celebrating, like, oh, we wish we were at the wedding. Like, we're so happy for you. But to all be like, oh my gosh, what's that on your finger?
I have a question for you.
And where do you live, friend?
How did they do the she's much bigger at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Um how did they do that?
She had a suit on, probably.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she probably either had a suit on or just had a body double, but I think she had a suit on because when she was sitting in the, airplane seat, she was much bigger, but I
Mm,
think it was a suit.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kim, we really did like this movie. What did I leave out? What did you want to get off your
What did
chest?
you leave out? Uh I think I don't think you left out too much. I think at all. I think just only that the end was rushed and a lot of I like the setup for the issues that they
Mhm.
were all having because also in this movie he did a good job of cramming a lot of stories into one film. Like, that's a lot of story, like, everybody's having issues, and we gotta get into everybody's thing, like, you had a DNA test, you didn't think that was your daughter, you got VD from someone else, but she got it from someone else that got it from someone else, and then you are
You-
super abusive, and then now you're with a girl that just she don't cook, she don't clean, she just don't like, that's a lot to wrap up into one film. However, I feel like if you're gonna take on that much, writer director, editing, everyone that's involved in a film, if you're gonna take on that much, you've got to end it well. And I felt like they didn't. I didn't like the resolution for several of the characters.
What?
I didn't. Yeah, in terms of not fleshing it out. Like, we're not like, all of a sudden, like, homegirl who's yelling on the trains and planes is just gonna make you a dinner and be like, "I love you, Marcus. I'll never yell at you again." Like, you loud, like, you will. Like, like, I just feel like
Wow.
it wasn't complete in how he ended the film. I wasn't happy with that. I felt like
Really?
Patricia and I mean, Diane and Terry, um, it was just more, there's so much more than just being like, I'm sorry. It's like, we really got to work this out. So I would have liked, as much conversation happened in this film, I would have liked to see resolution through conversation, which would have been very consistent in how it ended.
Okay.
Like having a real honest conversation with Terry and Diane. You know, I just having another baby is just not what I want to do. But how can we get around this? Instead of like, I just love you and I'm so sorry and now we're fine. I feel like that's how a lot of these complicated issues ended in the film for me. And that's the one critique that I would really, for myself, that I just was like, we need to like really talk about these issues because they were deep, especially Patricia and her husband. Like,
Well,
those are some really super
well,
deep cut issues.
I am surprised to hear that because I disagree. Something, well, let me say this. Something you said earlier when you said you like that we're getting vast characters, but they're not stereotypical.
Hmm.
Out of the 9 characters, I agree with 8 of those. The only one to me that was slightly stereotypical is Angela as the ghetto black woman. Just saying it's a stereotype. Not saying that I don't love those type of women. I do. Part of the community. I love us all. As far as this is concerned, well, we have the 80-20 rule, which I do believe in. Um, One, just nobody's perfect, and I don't want to go down the rabbit hole as far as that's concerned. But that was brought up in the film at the very beginning, and it paid off in the end. It resolved 2 relationships. Mike and Trina didn't work, but Sheila and Troy did work out.
Yeah.
So it was a lesson learned and a great ending for 2 couples right there. Um, Patricia gave an assignment to Angela and Diane.
Hmm.
And when the it worked, as far as Diane and Terry is concerned, no, they're not perfect, but they they came to a common ground and they did communicate. And then you have the same. So I like that resolution. But then you have Marcus and Angela. He checked his wife. He checked his baby mama. Went for a walk. She did the assignment too. We didn't see her emoting about it, but she was like,
I liked his conversation. I like with the 2 moms. I thought that was, a really good.
So she like, yeah, let me cook for my man, and and it was funny because she liked to drink at the beginning. She was drinking out of flask, but she's like, he's like, no more drinking. Okay, let me get the wine glass. So I don't know. I mean, I guess the only one that wasn't resolved was Patricia and Gavin, but out of the 4 to 5 couples, I like the ending. And then they dance. She get the award at the end. The camera zooming, panning out. I'm like, yeah, Tyler Perry. Why can't we get movies like this? But you said you didn't like the conclusion of some of the characters. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Hmm. This is a nice battle then. You know
Yeah.
how we was here, but we may not be. But that's fine. I'll see you in part 2. That came out in 2010. Why did I get married? Part 2. I'm up here trying to type it in and I can't type fast enough. But yeah, guys. I said, what did you? I can't type this. Why did
What did you get married
yeah
to?
2? Mind you, okay, so Michael Jai White recently had a martial arts film come out. Um, God dog, I can't remember the name. It
He
came
does so
out.
many.
It came out August of 2025. I believe in the press junket, he did say that they are working on a Why Did I Get Married Part 3.
Oh,
I don't.
really?
I know I didn't just dream that. I heard it somewhere on the interwebs that I was scrolling
Okay.
I think I remember the outlet. It was a black outlet, but because I was asking him questions about the film, and it was and he was like, yeah, Tyler is working on a
Cool
What I Get
beans.
part 3. If y'all want us to review part 2, let us know in the comment section. We really would appreciate it. If you're watching this on my channel, please subscribe to Kimberly's channel. And if you're watching this on no, if you're watching this on, I don't know what I'm trying to say, Kim.
No, you were saying it right. Yeah, if
Okay.
you're watching it on Brandon's channel, like let's
Okay.
share friends. Like
Yeah.
if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And guys, because we both post this on each other's. So I
Yeah.
post these episodes on my channel, Brandon posts on his. So
Yeah.
if you follow me and you're not in tune with how amazing Just My Opinion is and how much great work Brandon has, please give him a like, subscribe, and follow him because he's got great work. And hopefully, if
Yes.
you're a fan of Brandon's, you'll do the same for me and see what I got going on.
Yes, yes. Got some stuff cooking in the kitchen. That's all I'll say for now. We're gonna be talking about some more Tyler Perry movies coming up soon, and we can't wait. So until then, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm B. Avery. That's Kimberly, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.